And we're at the Scottish Parliament. How exciting, how absolutely thrilling. And look at these guys over here, they've got big tents, huge equipment, fantastic, and yet they can't pull an audience like the Guerilla TV channel. Where are my baby gorillas? Are we online? So we're getting to the stage, we're nearly finished voting. So the voting intentions just now are all but over. And what is going to happen? What is the big things that will happen just now? You all coming on board, guys, are you? I've had to go on this one. I couldn't live stream from the other channel, so I'm glad you've managed to pick it up. I hope you saw in my comments that I was on this channel and not the second one. So good to see you all. Love my baby gorillas. Good evening, Terry. How are you, pal? Good to see you. And live at the end of the day of a hard day of voting. It was very difficult. I hope you all got out and voted. Very important. It's your future. There was a massive amount of choice there, and especially on the regional list. Absolutely huge choice we had in the different parties. Unfortunately, I think the main parties is a bit like smoking. And I would like to just discuss this because I'm going to give you a wee hint. I've just stopped smoking and I've got this spray tax, and you spray it once in your mouth and it gives you a nicotine hit and it stops you the craving of smoking. And it's incredible. I wish I'd found this out years ago. When will the results be available? This is the terrible thing. And I was going to do a live stream tonight. The results, because of the postal votes and the availability of postal corruption, will not be available until Saturday. There'll be some results potentially coming in on Friday, and all the results will not come into Saturday because there's been 1 million people using postal votes. So all the postal votes will need to be put in with the rest of the votes. So massive availability, like in a whole day. So I don't know what you meant by that. The postal votes are going to have to now be brought in with the other votes, and we're not going to be finding out until Saturday what the actual election results are. Plenty of chances for the Nats to stitch it up. Exactly, it's just exactly like America with Dopey Joe, the most popular president in American history, and a president that resembles Weekend at Bernie's with Skeletor and what's her face, Skeletor and the slave traders, great grandniece or granddaughter, but propping him up. I mean, it was quite incredible, absolutely unbelievable. So there's not actually very much action happening here for it being the end of the day of polling. I take it 10 o'clock it was finished. Hi Bernadette, how you doing? Hi David. Yeah, what for the vote? Glad you're giving up smoking. Yeah, so am I. I'm glad as well. And it's really, but what I was going to allude to was, unfortunately, these 5 political parties seem to be the populace's addiction. We've all had our compulsive behavioural patterns. The polling stations in Kilmarnock haven't had big lines of people all day. Have had big lines of people all day. Well, that's quite incredible. I think I was out relatively early this morning. There was people waiting to vote. I don't know if they're big lines, but obviously because of the coronavirus, they've had to separate the people up a bit more. But so I don't know if they're big lines or they're just elongated lines. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's been a lot of people out to vote. It'll be very interesting to see the ease of corruption of the paper ballots with the polling. So I love it when people when they go past. So what's going to happen, Dave? I hear you all say, well, as I said, the five main parties are your addiction. To go outside those parties is going to take I don't know what it's going to take to actually move away from these parties. The people working there said it's been incredibly busy, has it? Ah, that's very interesting. Is that for you, Michael? So that's very interesting, been incredibly busy. Oh well, the people have obviously come out and voted. But unfortunately, we already know that the ability for corruption because of the postal ballots is quite rife. I don't think it's actually going to matter that much. The SNP look like they're going to smash it through the constituencies. With the amount of people on the constituency vote, the likelihood is the SNP are going to absolutely walk the constituencies. They'll get the vast majority of seats. If there's only about, I think, up to 7 to 10 potentially contested votes. They tried hard to keep Salmond and Galloway out of the debate. Yeah, they did, and the media coverage. I just went off there. Sorry about that. Just went off. Yeah, they did, but it's not just Galloway and Salmond they took out. They also took out the UK Reform Party. Why was Michelle Ballantyne not invited? Why was Tam Laird not invited? Why was some of the left-wing parties not invited to get a balanced vote, a balanced view? Because all these media entities behind their cordoned fence, protecting themselves and their very expensive equipment, and protecting the political class, so that it looks like you've only got 5 choices. There was a list of about 22 parties on the regional list. So I mean, it was you were spoiled for choice in the regional list, and you definitely shouldn't be voting for one of the 5 main parties on the regional list. You should have definitely. I voted for King Ming, Tam Laird, and for both votes for King Ming. I think Tam Laird is going to get the most votes that any Scottish Libertarian Party has ever had. Any time he's going to get the most votes. We're going to see other parties like the Alba Party, who just a few weeks ago, very much like Nigel Farage, has come from nothing. And although the overall vote might not be, I was thinking about this as well, and for George as well, like Charlotte Morrell. Charlotte, we were talking to the other day, might get enough votes in her location. She might go over the 6%. Georgie Porgy in the south might go over the 6% to get him into power. Alex Salmond might get, and I'm saying 6% as an approximation of what percentage in the regional list you're going to have to get into Parliament. So they might not get it overall on the actual whole of Scotland, but within each area, because obviously Georgie Porgy, thank you, Morley, thank you, Michael, thank you, Morley, Charlotte Morley. So Charlotte Morley was a very competent woman, and she would make a very valuable added member to the Scottish Parliament. But whether or not she's gone out and get the people have gone out and actually seen her enough and actually gone out and voted for her. People have to stand time and time again to actually swap for people to actually get to know them and actually understand. She might not get it this time, she might get it next time if she's prepared to stand again. Sometimes the opportunities don't come up. So there's a lot of variables that are involved in actually being able to stand. Nicola Sturgeon had to stand twice. I think she got beaten twice before she actually then went on to start winning in the constituencies. And then obviously we can't get rid of her now. She's like Kim Jong-un and not being prepared to resign. So we've got all of this going on in the background. So Charlotte, although fantastic, a valuable member of the Parliament, or she would make a valuable member of the Parliament, may not be elected in the regional list because not enough people actually knew about her prior to that. I'm just surmising. Georgie Porgy obviously is a household name. Alex is also a household name as well. She's like a bad smell. She's like a Nicola Sturgeon, wee nippy. So these people are actually could be valuable, but because not enough people know, they might not get to the 6 or whatever percent it is to actually be elected. And they're also with smaller parties. But I'll guarantee you this: there'll be a huge amount of individuals that are percentage vote for the regional list. We're going to see the biggest amount of none of the main 5 political parties ever voted for an alternative, because I think we're all sick and tired of the SNP, the Lib Lab Con Party, and the Moby and the Marxists. So I think we've had enough of these guys. So we're now moving towards a new political party now, new political parties now. It might not happen this election, but the building blocks are there now for new parties to come forward, and they can't keep putting these other parties off the media. There's now other ways to contact individuals than through the media over there, and the protected classes, protecting the establishment. There's now other ways of actually getting to and speaking to people. They don't have a monopoly, even though they are a monopoly in protecting the corporatist globalists. So they don't have this. They don't have the ability they had their ability to lie and manipulate and prevent other political parties coming forward is waning. And other entities like the Guerilla TV channel is growing thanks to you guys. So we're just getting bigger. People are ignoring the smears and the lies to actually start to listen to people who have got different views. So what I think is going to happen, just like my smoking and me trying to stop smoking, the five main political parties are like a habit. I predict SNP 38%, Greens 8%, Conservatives 25%, Labour 19%, and I didn't see the rest of that. So I'm close to that as well. What's going to happen is in the constituency list, the SNP are going to do very well, which means they're going to get the vast majority of seats in Scotland through the first past the post. Only in the south of Scotland and the Highlands and Islands will they actually get regional lists. So anybody else that voted for the SNP in the Central Belt has actually been voting for the unionist parties, because if you had switched to ALBA or the Scottish Libertarian Party or one of the other parties, you might have got other nationalists in the Parliament. But because you've actually wasted it in both votes, SNP, you'll have actually wasted your regional vote list, and it was Nicola Sturgeon's bad advice for actually doing that. So you'll get more unionists because you have not given it to ALBA or the Scottish Libertarian Party. We'll see. Let's start with the illiberal liberals. So I reckon we'll see the five illiberal, liberal, undemocratic Democrats back in power, and they'll come back. There won't be any gains for the liberals. The liberals, should I say? I'm the liberals. They're the illiberals. And what will we see, Michael, is that from the regional or the constituency? I think he's talking about overall. But that looks like it's more from the regional. But it could be overall between when you mash it together. We're going to see the SNP not get a majority. The SNP will not get a majority, and we will see them just fall short. We'll see an increase in the number of seats for the Greens. God knows why, honestly, I mean really, but we'll see an increase in number of overall. We'll see an increase in the number for the Greens. The Greens will do well on the regional vote. So they could be up as high as 9 seats. We'll see Labour. I think Labour are going to lose seats. I think Labour could lose 3 seats in the Scottish Parliament. So we'll see the continued decline of Labour. But Labour are going to have a bad night overall. I don't know if the Hartlepool by-election is on tonight as well. But we'll see the Labour are going to lose seats down south as well. Was offered a pencil at my polling station. Yeah, thank God I had a pen. Yeah, make sure you actually take a pen. I actually took the woman's pen and she wouldn't take it back, obviously for COVID, and I used the woman's pen to actually mark my ballot as well. So yeah, very much. You should start taking pens with you into the ballot station. We'll change the way that the elections are run as well to make it much more democratic. But I hope Sadiq Khan gets the boot. There's no chance. I don't think there's any chance that Sadiq Khan will get the boot. The ones that will be interesting to see is what the Conservatives have done down there, if they've increased their proportion. It'll be interesting to see what David Curtin's done, what Brian Rose has done, and what Colin Fox has done. All of those three should be in the UK Reform Party and moving the UK Reform Party. And Richard Tice has to do that. I did the same, Fred. I got it from the bookies. So Richard Tice has to start looking out and getting these people on. I would prefer Sean Atwood as London Mayor. Sean Atwood, did you? So Sean I don't know who that was just said there. Somebody redacted that. Must have been Nicola Sturgeon. Redacted that last message. So only time will tell what's actually going to happen. So I think Labour are going to lose 3 seats, 3 MSPs. I think the Conservatives may gain MSPs, but they might also, the SNP will stay approximately the same. We'll see the Alba Party now. Alex Salmond, if Alex Salmond and Georgie Porgy get in, it'll be great. We also beat the French again today, did we? What? Sean Bailey. Well, Sean Bailey's a nice fella, but I would have preferred Lawrence Fox or David Curtin. I think David Curtin's probably the most formidable one there. My prediction for the regional: SNP 36.5, Tories 23.6, Labour 17.4. Yeah, Greens, I missed the rest of that. 17.4 on the regional list will be a disaster for the Labour Party, and they're going to lose MSPs again. Probably not as badly as if they had stuck with the last leader as well. So, so we're going to see them lose seats. So we're going to get Alex and Georgie Porgy, and I don't know if the south of Scotland has voted for him, but obviously George is questionable because he keeps simping for the Chinese Communist Party. They need to block the Channel Isles part with fishing boats. They have sent the Royal Navy, have they? My goodness. My goodness. I don't know anything about that, so I can't really comment. I mean, it's quite incredible. So are we going to see Alex back in? The sounds better than that sounds better than my prediction. Hope you're right, Thomas. So I'm going to get some lights. I've got lights sent up in a rig, and a speaker, a mic for this setup as well, just because obviously it's dark just now. And I've got a full new rig set up for broadcasting live outside, especially at night. So I've got a couple of wee LEDs. I had a technical vote. Lib Dems to get rid of the SNP appointment. Well, I mean, obviously, I would stop tactically voting. I would start voting for the people who are going to make a difference. I hear you, Freddie. I would start getting the people that are going to make a difference in your politics and stop tactically voting. Start to vote for some other people. The wheels of the cart are not going to fall off any more than they would do with these people. And you might as well change your political and vote for who is closest to you on the political compass. Whatever political party is closest to you on the political compass. There's no point. There is a point just now, but I think you should throw the tactical voting right out the window and vote for people who are strong politically. Alex Salmond and both Georgie Porgy are strong politically. SNP gone is the difference we need, brother. Well, I think it's very much of a muchness. I don't think the Lib Lab Con Party are going to be an improvement. I think we actually need to move to a different part of this. The election was a hold your nose, the SNP and the most corrupt party in Western Europe. Well, they're certainly not very good, aren't they? They've been certainly mismanaging Scotland. Let's be honest. I mean, you couldn't say they've been doing a good job in domestic issues. I mean, this holding out for this referendum is not benefiting the Scottish people or the way that Scotland's been governed, has it? So, I mean, that's a big issue. As I said, the Scottish Libertarian Party are going to get the best night they've ever had. I think they are like mafia, the way the way that they operate, very much so, very much so. But I don't think, I don't think any of the others are there. I would vote for Mike Hunt. I would vote for Mike Hunt. I think that's a wee plain words there. But anyway, so we're now seeing a situation where we're going to actually see, I think, changes. We might see new people coming in. Just one, Sydney Nicola is about to take the week out of Biden's. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised, but she can't win because of the way that the structure is. Even if she gets a lot of constituency votes, even if she did try and nobble the vote for the region, then she's not going to be able to do very much. I'd be okay for York Hunt. Teresa, you wee devil. Nicola is a pound shop Democrat. Ah, yes, very much. Well, they're just part of the globalist cabal, aren't they? That's what they are. They are the globalist cabal. I would vote for Hugh Guinness. But we are talking about moving away from what the current political class is. We have to move out with, stop being addicted to the Lib Lab Con Party, the Greens and the SNP. There's tons of choice out there, tons of choice that we could have done. She's been in every pound shop looking for a pound, a pounding. So we can move out with now. There's plenty of choice. There's going to be increased growth in the Scottish Libertarian Party. We're going to have other parties coming up as well. Craig Miller, so sad people still vote for the SNP. So we're going to actually see movement away from these 5 parties. It's going to take a long period of time, but we've now got a great variety of choice. And what the Guerilla TV channel will try and do for the next election is bring more people who are actually standing from other political parties so that we know what they're standing for. Cranky foes to Hollywood, best slogan campaign via All for Unity. I hope you get Chippy open. No, I didn't get the rest of that. So we're now moving away from the political class that we've got just now. We're going to see 12%, I think, or 2 other parties on the regional list. 12%, which may not be enough to get a lot of other political party members in yet, but it's a sure start that we're seeing the decline in the Lib Lab Con Party. Maybe not the Greens. The Greens might be one of the few parties actually rising the vote. Did you get a wee curry today, Davey? I did actually. No. What did I eat today? I ate peri chicken, which was absolutely mind blowing, and a wee strawberry milkshake. So these guys are. We're moving away now. We're moving away from these political entities, and we're going to see an innovation in politics in Scotland, because it's these political entities that are the problem. And we will, with the Guerilla TV channel, will try and allow other political parties to come on board and broadcast their message on the political channel. We will have sit-downs and dialogues with them and find out what political choice we've actually got. I know the Greens, I'm absolutely gobsmacked that the Scottish people are going to vote for Moby and the Marxists. The only good thing in the pipeline, is that once we hit zero emissions, what's the point in the Greens? What's the point? They're just going to be another Marxist party. They won't be able to hide behind their environmentalism if Scotland, or in particular Scotland, gets there. Guys, I hate the Greens. If Scotland becomes a zero emissions, what are they going to do? What's the point in the Greens being there? And they will have to then resort to their underlying Marxist ideology. So I don't think they're going to be adding much value anyway in the next 4 years, but I think we're going to get more of the same, unfortunately. The Scottish people, I don't think, have moved away from their habit. The Greens are probably Biden-backed because they knew spokesman, they'll have us eating insects. Exactly. I mean, they're just as authoritarian as anybody else. They try to tell you what to say. The Greens will be voted in by the indoctrinated young voters. Well, it's not surprising. I mean, Moby and Nippy, like a weekend down at Bennett's, we won't have zero emissions in our lifetime. Yeah, we probably won't, Michael, but it's certainly moving down that way anyway. And if everybody adopts the Greens are doomsday cult con operation, well, I think we're all in agreement here. But if we increasingly move towards zero emissions, they've not really got a platform. What are they standing on? The people are calling them the tranny party, and what else are they calling them? The SNP's gardeners. The green agenda is the politics of fear. Of course it is. Of course it is. Just Biden and all the racist wokes, anti-white racists and anti-male, praying for a non-SNP majority. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an SNP majority. I think you can take that to back, but there will be probably a nationalist majority. So between the Greens and the SNP, and maybe if Alba get a couple, I think Kenny McCaskill is obviously a highly competent MP, and he's got a large representation, so I think he might get 6% as well, or whatever it takes to get him in. Greens will advocate climate lockdown next year. That's right, and already doing get the rest of that. So yeah, they will do anything. We have to stand up against this lockdown crap. That has to go. The Scottish Cabbage Party will support. There are no doubt about that. Yeah, of course they will. So, do you think big Angus Robertson will get a seat? Yeah, Angus will definitely get a seat. Angus will be one of the top of the regional vote as well. So if he doesn't get it in the constituency, he'll get it through. Good point. So if he doesn't win his constituency, the likelihood is, because they will get so many votes for the constituency, that Angus might not get it. Just like Nippy, if Sarwar beats Nippy in the constituency, it's unlikely that she would get re-elected. So she's taking a bit of a chance, because she's not even first in the regional vote for Glasgow, she's second. So if Sarwar beat her, Sarwar won't beat him, but obviously Sarwar's dad was elected as an MP as well, an MSP. And so Sarwar won't. There is a chance that Sarwar could beat her, but if Sarwar doesn't beat her, then that's problems for Sturgeon, isn't it? So she's second on the list. So she won't even get. I don't think the first person on the regional list in Glasgow will be elected. So all those people have voted for the SNP on the regional list in Glasgow have just basically wasted the vote. And they've wasted the vote if they're that nationalist, they waste the vote and not voting for something like Alba or the Scottish Libertarian Party. So they've de facto wasted the vote on getting this in. But I don't think Sarwar will beat Nippy on the actual constituency. Although he may, it is a possibility, but I don't think he will. So, and although, I mean, really, you just question what people have been watching over the last period of time to actually vote for these politicians. The fact of their mismanagement doesn't affect their direction of where they put the ballot. Oh, unbelievable. But I mean, it's absolutely dead down here. 10 o'clock, I would have thought that the actual the voting had stopped and it would be full of people actually speaking about politics, but dead as a doornail here. Absolutely nothing to see here. What about Count Dankula? Count Dankula, I think, will get thousands of votes. Count Dankula will be the highest voted for Scottish Libertarian that's ever stood. Count Dankula will get probably, I think, about 3,000 votes over the population and demands on limited resources on the missed that. So Count Dankula will get the highest number of votes for any Libertarian that's ever stood. 3,000, I think he'll get about 3,000 votes. I don't know if he'll make it onto the he would make it on through the region, because he's first on the regional list for the Scottish Libertarians. So then it will get collated from all the people that voted for the Scottish Libertarian Party on the regional list. So I don't know if he'll make it into Parliament, which would be absolutely fantastic. Same with getting Georgie Porgy and Alex Salmond into Parliament. Just the whole spiciness of that, and getting Count Dankula in. Whether or not the West of Scotland has voted Dank, only time will tell. That would be, I mean, that would just be absolutely superb if he got in. That would just be absolutely brilliant. Certainly done their best for him and for that eventuality. Oh, unbelievable, guys. Absolutely unbelievable. So I'm going to stream later on. We'll stream through the night, but I don't think there's really... We only place overpopulated is non-white countries, yeah. So, I mean, that's not wrong, but the fact is that we'll do it. We'll go tonight. The Spice Girls, Galloway, Dank, and Salmon. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So we'll stream later on tonight, but I think it might be a wee bit. I was all sort of looking forward to it until I found out that we're not going to get the results back. All hail Supreme Leader Dank, Daddy Dank. But I was excited about streaming tonight, but I'm less enthused now because we're not going to get the results back to Saturday. So I don't know whether it'd be better to stream on Saturday when we get. I think this is going to be a sort of damp squid, but we'll see what they're saying on the polls. There will obviously be other results coming in, but best wait till tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, Teresa, I think you might be right, but I will do a stream later on. It might not be a long one, but I'll do a stream later on and actually speak about what the information that we're getting coming through just now. But you're probably right, Teresa. It's probably not going to be that interesting tonight because of the postal votes and because we won't get it till tomorrow or Saturday. So, but yeah, 12%, I think. 12%, we're going to see them, other parties looking sharp, brother. Thank you. On point like a laser. Thank you. We will get some indication. Yeah, we may get some indication as well. But we have only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time till the politics start to change. Any black vans arriving with ballots flying at them. So we're going to have some very interesting times. We're now seeing it's going to see about 12% on the regional vote voting for other parties, which is great. There's no exit polls. No, they're still printing the ballots to put in the X's. So, all these ballots will just be sitting about, God knows where. So, no immediate. So, this is a corruption of our democratic process by the lockdowns. We need to actually start standing up against these lockdowns. This is just bullshit. So, yeah, we're probably not going to find out tonight, but I reckon 12% of Scotland in the regional list will have voted for other parties other than the Lib Lab Con Party, the Greens, and the SNP. We're now seeing a drift away from these main political parties. We're seeing the decrease razor sales in Scotland increase 500% yesterday. Exactly. Make sure you always take your pen. So, yeah, go and see what's going to happen. Move your votes. We've all moved over to the regional place or the regional vote as well. I've never worn a mask, use a sanitizer, taken a vaccine. Well done, Teresa. You state your case, pal. And yeah, massive return just now. 12% of Scotland in the regional vote will be voting for another party. So this is the start. This is the decline of the Lib Lab Con Party, the SNP, the Greens. This is the decline, although we will see increases potentially in the Tories and potentially, I would say more than definitely, in the Green Party. But we may get other parties in, depending if Georgie Porgy gets in, if Salmon gets in, Count Dankula gets in. It'll just be highly interesting. Was in 2007 when they had a 5% rate of spoilt ballots, they suppressed, did they? Ah, very interesting. When I was there, they were drawing penises on the ballots, but I don't think there's the point in spoiling the ballots. You've now got the choice to vote for 22 parties in that regional list. Count Binface should get in, yeah. Well, I think we've already got her as leader. Yeah, 22 parties, so you've got choice. There's no point in spoiling your ballots anymore. You have political choice, especially on the regional list. Maybe not in the constituency list yet, but you have in the regional list. Any poll station, that old lady said to me that if it's not voting SNP, blah, 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 I can see that. Rumour that Kaiser Cranky has hired, it's possible, for Eurovision to LibCon coalition in Holyrood. They won't have a big enough numbers. Just went to Lib Dems. Went to Lib Dems. So the Greens and the SNP coalition will be the largest parties in Scotland, and there'll be a supply and demand type thing for the confidence pact that the SNP and the Greens will strike up together. So they will have that sort of pact put in place. I hate the Greens, yeah. Well, Rees-Mogg and the Marxists are a terrible party. You should look back in the Guerilla TV videos and you'll see the video I did with a lovely lady, Sheila Malone, who was in the Green Party. She was in Corbyn's constituency, and she talked about the Greens being absolutely radio rental. It's like the Village Idiots Party. So very worrying that they've actually come out and actually there's a dog in the pool. They were going to get increased support. So yeah, but we're going to see a move. At least we're going to see the start of a move, especially in the regional vote for other political entities, and that's maybe the start of having greater variety of intellect and political stances in the Scottish Parliament, away from the Lib Lab Con Party, the Greens and the SNP. If Sarwar takes Nicola's seats, Dugdale will be celebrating on live on TD. I think, what's the face will be celebrating? Biden sniffed my hair when I was 6 and said I should be in the Linux advert. You guys are too funny. So yeah, that's about that. So I'm going to round up here. We're going to go back up. I'll go on live stream on camera for you guys. We get the election results together. I'm talking for nearly 40 minutes here. So I'm going to get the election results. We'll have another crack at this, but I think 11:45 tonight. See if there's any polls back, see what the BBC are saying, and get some information and do some sort of analysis if they've got any. It might be a very short show tonight because there might not be anything coming back. I might have to come down here tomorrow and the next day. Maybe that's why there's a lack of activity and actual people there, because there's nothing going to be happening tonight. Green get a chippy, Davy. Go and get a chippy. So they might have. This is why these people might be a non-entity. The real entity might be Saturday. Davy, there's nothing happening. I don't think there will be either, Teresa. There certainly is nothing happening here, except me. Obviously, I'm happening. But yes, nothing happening here. Dead as a doornail. So the likelihood is we are not going to get any results. We're not going to get results. We're not going to find out what's actually happening till Saturday. So I'll see. There might be results down south, but I still think they're going to have postal votes even for the local elections to be counted, and we're not going to find out anything out until the weekend, which is going to be pretty boring. I'm telling you, mate, it's deed till tomorrow. You're probably right. I think Salmond, the fallen Messiah, will get re-elected. What was that, re-elected? Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Salmond could get enough to get re-elected. Caught an SNP megaphone convoy with a megaphone today. So Salmond could get re-elected, and so could Georgie Porgy. Both of them are big enough political names to get the 6% of whatever it's going to be to get them in power. So they are heavy enough hitters to probably garnish 6% of the regional vote list, the regional vote, to be to get elected on the list. So it wouldn't be unsurprising, and that might be taken away from the Labour people. They might not be getting elected. So it's and there's some close battles as well between Conservatives and the SNP, and close battles. We'll see what tactical voting does actually, to see if any of that is swayed as well. Oh, it's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. It's so exciting we're going to have to wait 2 days. What constituency is Galloway? Galloway's not in a constituency. Galloway and the All for Unity are on the regional list, and Galloway is in the south of Scotland on the regional list. So that's where Georgie Porgy is. I don't know why he picked that, not Glasgow, but everyone to their own. They must have seen some sort of way of getting in on that. Dumfries and Galloway, yeah, Dumfries and Galloway. There you go. So I knew it was in the south. So that's basically where we're at. So we're going to have to wait to Saturday. It was all overnight and it was all quite exciting. And now we're going to have to wait. He lives in Dumfries, right. So we're now going to have to wait for 2 days so they can corrupt the vote. I think tactical voting will play a huge part in this. Well, we'll see. We'll certainly see. I voted Galloway. Don't agree with him, yeah, on the lot, but always been a fan since he pulled the US government. Yeah, I was quite impressed with that as well. We need a proper Scottish fascist party taking to the Marxists. Don't know what that guy was doing. Yeah, that's it. He was anyway. So I missed that last one. So that's me pretty much done. Pretty much done, guys. I'll go back up the road and we'll get prepared to see if there's anything getting said tonight at all. But by the look of the lack of activity in the press corps, look at that. I think they might be on strike. That nothing's going to happen tonight, guys. My baby gorillas, you know I love you guys. 11:45.